Now let's start with principal quantum number. First, you should know the most important thing, that principal quantum number is denoted by small n. And this describes the principal energy level of an electron in an atom. Principal quantum number also describes the size of the orbit. The possible values of principal quantum number are from 1 till infinity, means any integer between 1 and infinity can be principal quantum number. And the energy of the electron and the radius of the orbit, that is the size of electron cloud, increases with the increase in the value of n. Here, as you can see, that as the value of n will increase, n is equals to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3 is given. N is equal to 1 will have lesser energy, n is equal to 3 will have more energy. N is equal to 1 will have less radius, atomic radius, and n is equal to 3 will have more atomic radius. Theoretically, principal quantum number may have all integral values from 1 to infinity, but values from 1 to 7 have been established in the elements known so far. And the maximum number of electrons in the given principal energy level is equals to 2n square. I hope you remember this formula, 2n square, where n can be 1, 2, 3 and so on. So this is your principal quantum number. Let's move on to azimuthal quantum number. This is also called secondary quantum number, and it is denoted by small l. It describes the sub-energy level of the electron in an atom, and it also describes the shape of the subshell. Okay, the shape also subshell can be described. Now, before moving, let's see, all the time we will use SPDF term. But you should know here and remember throughout your life that S is from the word sharp. Okay, SPDF are the short forms. Normally we use SPDF fluently, but these are the short forms. S is the short form of sharp, P is the short form of principal, D is the short form of diffused, and F is the short form of fundamental. Okay, and the values of L depends upon the values of principal quantum number. You will find that all the quantum numbers are interrelated. From one only we can reach to the other. Let's see. As principal quantum number is n and azimuthal quantum number is L. Now we will see, for a given value of n, possible values of L are, for any value of n, possible values of L will be 0 to n minus 1. Okay, this you have to learn. 0 to n minus 1. Now, let's consider n is equals to 1. What will be the value of azimuthal quantum number? How you will bring it out? L is equals to, we have to find out, and we know that the formula 0 to n minus 1. N is your 1, so 1 minus 1, 0. Means L will be 0. Okay, now suppose n is equals to 2. What will be the value of L? Again 0 to n minus 1 means 0, n minus 1, n is 2, 2 minus 1, 1. So 0 and 1. L will be 0 and 1. Now let's take another example. If suppose n is equals to 3, what will be the value of L? Again we will see, 0 to n minus 1 means 0, n minus 1, that is 3 minus 1, that is 2, means 0, 1 and 2. 0, 1 and 2. So if n is equals to 1, L is equal to 0. If n is equals to 2, L is equal to 0, 1. If n is equals to 3, L is equal to 0, 1, 2. Okay, what you have to remember, L is less than n, means if it is n is equals to 1, then L is equals to 0. If n is equals to 2, then L is equal to 0 and 1. And if n is equals to 3, L is equal to 0, 1 and 2. And you can remember by this that 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The significance of all these you will understand soon after this. Okay, thus electron may be present in S, P or D subshell of the third orbit. Means what it is denoting now. Let me write it again. If n is equals to 1, wait, let's take n, value of n, L and subshell notation. Subshell notation. Our value of n is 1. The value of L will be 0. And subshell, suppose 1 is here, as 1 is here, so only 1 will be here, and this is 1s. Now for 2, it will be 0 and 1. So it will be 2s, 2p. If n is equals to 3, this will be 0, 1 and 2. And this will be 3s, 3p, 3d. Now n is equals to 4. L value will be 0, 1, 2, 3. And subshell notations will be 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f. Suppose it is 5. Value of L will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And subshell notations will be 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f, 5g. Thus, we conclude that 1p, 2d, 3f, etc. subshells are not possible. Okay, the number of subshells in a shell is equal to the number of shell. Thus, for n is equals to 5, the number of subshells are 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f, 5g. 5 subshells are here, but subshells beyond F subshell are not required for the elements known so far. Okay, and the energy of the various subshells in the same shell increases in the order, means S will have least energy, then P, then D, then F. Okay, so always electron will first enter in S shell, then P, then D, then F. Okay, so after discussing about the azimuthal quantum number, let's move on to magnetic quantum number. It is denoted by small m. Sometimes it can be written as ml. Okay, magnetic quantum number. It is also known as orbital quantum number. And it explains Zeeman effect. What is Zeeman effect? Zeeman effect is splitting of spectral lines in the presence of magnetic field. Now try to understand. An electron in motion around the nucleus generates an electric field. And this electric field produces a magnetic field which may interact with the external magnetic field applied. Thus, under the influence of the external magnetic field, the electrons present in a subshell may orient themselves in certain preferred regions of space around the nucleus. And these preferred regions of space are called orbitals. And the magnetic quantum number determines the number of orbitals in a subshell. And again, as you have seen that azimuthal was connected with principal quantum number, this magnetic quantum number is related to azimuthal quantum number. The value of m depends upon the value of L. And for given value of L, values of L m are minus L, 2 plus L, including 0, means minus L, 0 plus L. Very understandable table 2.7 is given in your book. Permissible combinations of N, L and M on page number 125. See what is given there. Principal shell, that is K. So value of N will be 1 and L value will be 0. Okay, and value of M is equals to value of M is equals to minus L2 plus L including 0. For 0 it will remain 0. There is no meaning of minus 0 and plus 0. It is 0. So number of subshells is 1 and number of orbitals will be 1. The clear table is given in your book, page 125. Now come to L. Value of N is given 2. So value of L will be 0 and 1. For 0, I should have written here. I should have denoted here. This is N. This is the value of L. This is the value of M. This is the number of subshells and number of orbitals in the last. Okay, for 2, value of L will be 0 and 1. For 0, M will be 0 and for 1, it will be plus 1, 0, minus 1. Number of subshell 2, 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay, the line should have been drawn here in your book, but it is given below M, that you can draw it again. After the value of N, L, you have to draw the line. Now here M comes. M means N is equals to 3. 3, so value of L will be 0, 1 and 2. Now let's see the value of M. For 0, M will be 0. For 1, it will be plus 1, 0, minus 1. And for 2, it will be plus 2, plus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. Okay, 3 subshells will be there, 3S, 3P, 3D. If you will count this all, it will come 9 orbitals it will take. Okay, like this only n, see in your book, value of n is equal to 4, value of L is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, and for all the possible values for L is given. For 0 it is 0, for 1 plus 1 0 minus 1, for 2 plus 2 plus 1 0 minus 1 minus 2, and for 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 0 minus 1 minus 2 minus 3. You will count, it will give you total 16 orbitals. Now the last quantum number, that is spin quantum number. It denotes the direction of spin. S positive half, that is clockwise, and S negative half, that is anti-clockwise. It represents the spin states of electrons in an orbital. MS is its symbol, and values are plus half and minus half. Very clearly in your book it is given that this quantum number is represented by S and accounts for the spin of electron. And this quantum number was not given by Schrodinger wave equation used in the quantum mechanical treatment of atom. It was introduced later on to define completely an electron in an atom. Okay, with all the three you will get the different orbitals, subshell, everything you are getting. The electrons which are present in every orbital, that you have to, that will be given by the spin quantum number. And its value will be plus half and minus half. And one more thing you have to remember, that for clockwise we just make like half head arrow upwards. For anti-clockwise we just make this downward arrow half head. Okay, in your book also this is shown, but in orbital when we draw it becomes easy for us to draw like this. Both can be drawn, both are used in most of the books, but it will be easy for you to make like this. The direction becomes very more clear when we make the arrows like this. Okay children, after all the quantum numbers, examples are given in your book. Example 2.17, it is, question is there that an atomic orbital has n is equals to 3. What are the possible values of L? What will be 0 to n minus 1, means it will be 0, 1, 2. Okay, now an atomic orbital has L is equals to 3. What are the possible values of M? So you have to remember those formulas. What is the value of M? Minus L, plus L or minus L, both we can write this side or that side. There is no problem that you are starting from plus or minus, but there should be, value should be there. Minus L to plus L including 0. Okay, so for L is equals to 3, the value will be minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. Next question is, in that only C, an atomic orbital has n is equals to 2. What are the possible values of L and M? Okay, you can take it out. Try to do more and more question. If you think in one go you will understand everything in this, it will take some time, and once you will understand you will never forget it. Okay, so try to understand by doing so many of questions on it. Okay, I'm going to stop my lecture here. In next lecture I will talk about the shapes of s, p and d orbitals. Okay, thank you so much children.